I'm a student at Case, and I live off campus in an apartment. I'm green in a lot of the stereotypical green ways. I recycle newspapers and class papers and folders and post-it notes. I have an indoor compost, actually. Me and my roommate have an indoor compost that we ordered online. We mail ordered worms, and from this crazy guy that has no customers except for us, we think. Whenever we have like salsa or peanut butter or something, we keep the glass jars, we take off the labels, we wash them, and then the jars are our glasses, so we didn't have to buy any plastic glasses. So I was really excited when I heard about Green Fest a couple weeks ago, and so I went, and I was excited just to see what other people had to offer, and if there were any more things that I could be doing that I hadn't already started to integrate into my life. So I ran into Jen Caden, and I talked to her about how she considers herself to be green.
Well, the main reason I'm green is that I'm vegan, so I don't consume any animal products, which is an extremely wasteful way to eat, very resource intensive, very polluting of our waterways, and a huge contributor to greenhouse gases that cause global warming. It's actually animal agriculture is a greater contributor of greenhouse gas emissions than all forms of transportation combined.
So they had a lot of cool initiatives there, including the food co-op, homemade jewelry. They had some food out too, and I took a look to see what they had because I was excited. This is going to be green. Maybe it's some local produce. Maybe they got it at a farmer's market. Maybe they knew who grew it. Maybe. And so I went over to the food table to see what they had to serve, and the first thing I saw was a plate of pasta, and that was good, but it was covered in cheese. So next up was a plate of vegetables, which is also, encouraging, except that it was surrounded by 4 bowls of cream-based salad dressing. And then we ended the table with 2 huge platters of pulled pork sandwiches, and this didn't seem very green to me, so I was really disappointed because I was going to an event where it was, deliberately planned and, thought and effort went into making this a green event. And then the food that they were serving was based on meat and dairy. And at the end of the table was plastic disposable silverware. So, that didn't seem very green to me either. It was really discouraging to see professionals fail to recognize the transportation that goes into, meat. If you look at the food industry, if you look at the meat industry, if you look at dairy, if you pick apart any component of the process of growing animals for human consumption, you will see the flaws, and it's actually a really poor allocation of resources. We're wasting our money, we are wasting our resources in transporting, growing, disposing of the carcasses of, the healthcare costs that go into the negative effects of meat consumption. It's an easy win, keeping meat and dairy out of your life. It's good for you, it's good for the environment, and it's a really basic, simple thing that everyone can participate in. And to see a professional company or an organization overlook this really simple concept, it was a shock to me. My friends and I, try to do our part in be green without being cliche and calling it being green, but it's really difficult when the social climate isn't willing to recognize simple things that we can do. Case Western has the opportunity through its dining services to set a really good example for the city of Cleveland, for its students, for the students' parents who come and visit. If everyone takes part in learning about veganism, investigating the meat and dairy industries, I think it would be really beneficial to the whole community. And I just hope that it's not just a couple people here and there scattered, because in isolation we're just really spinning our wheels.